Hey guys, Kevin here, and in this video we are going to talk about what good call center companies are hiring in Manila. So, and where do I apply first? So, this is a very common question that I receive on a regular basis. So this is just a sample email that I get. It says here, Dear Kevin, what call center can I apply in? I'm new in Manila and I want to work as a call center agent. I hope you can help me. I don't know where to start. What call center companies are hiring here in Manila? And I hope to get an answer soon. So, sincerely, new in Manila. So, here's my answer. So, if you're new in Manila, um, I get this question a lot. Where do I apply? So, not just from people who are new in Manila, but for people who are new and they're just newly interested in applying in the call center. So that's very normal. Call center companies are expanding and have moved to bigger locations. So when it comes to the address, when you do a search, Google is your friend. And funny thing is, I wrote this lesson in 2013, so it's 2019 at the time that I'm recording this video, and things have changed. So lots of things have changed. So I'm going to share the lesson here, and I believe that the lesson here is timeless. Like it still applies, but the companies have changed. So I'm going to go into that as well. So if you're new here, thank you for visiting. My name is Kevin. I'm the guy who created the website Call Center Trading Tips. I'm the guy who wrote the lessons. And I'm making this video to help people who have difficulty reading. So if you don't have the time or the patience to read, what you can do is start watching these videos, and from there, maybe learn a little something about how to get hired in a call center. So without further ado, here's the lesson, okay? So I always recommend starting with a popular or big BPO companies or call center companies, because if you start with the big companies, you are going to learn a lot in the process, okay? So you also have better opportunities because just in case you apply and your intention is to just to practice, but you get hired. When you do get hired, if you do accept their job offer, they are likely going to be able to give you something more significant and something more stable at the same time. Popular, or well, not really popular, but reputable call center companies pay well. Reputable call center companies pay on time. Reputable call center companies are more stable to work for. So it's always a good idea to work for the bigger companies instead of the smaller companies, because based on experience, this is just personal experience. You can correct me if I'm wrong, just leave a comment, let me know. But in a lot of situations that I've encountered, the smaller companies tend to pay less than the bigger companies, and the smaller companies tend to have shady business practices. So sometimes, if it's a smaller call center company, you're offering, local account, or they're offering, what do you call that? Like, work that involves, very simple operations. They tend to pay really low, usually in the range of minimum wage or just a little higher than minimum wage, and then they try to trick you into paying less. For example, I work for this Australian account. They offer you a basic salary that's a little less than minimum wage, but if you keep making sales, they're gonna pay you higher. But they're offering you something that sounds like salary or commission. So, for example, every week you go to the office, you get paid, I don't remember how much it is, you get paid 3,000 pesos. But if you make a sale, if you make a lot of sales, and you make more than 3,000 pesos, you have the option to get the higher amount. So, for example, your sales that week, the total commission is 5,000 pesos. You get 5,000 pesos that week instead of the basic 3,000 pesos. But here's the thing, you're not going to make the 3,000 pesos. You're just going to make the 5,000 pesos. So you either make one or you make the other. So that's the idea in that company. They pay you less, and they're very creative about it. Like, so sometimes they if you make a lot of sales, they're gonna give you an extra 200 pesos instantly. You don't have to wait for Friday, and all these nice things or attractive things to sweeten the deal. But in the end, if you count that, if you count how much you made the entire year, it's fluctuating and it's not very rewarding. And that's been the experience with me. So I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Some companies that I've worked for, they don't pay on time. Like everyone is just waiting for the company to announce that they've already released the payroll in the bank. So they're not very good with that. But I've personally worked for ePerformax. I've worked for West Contact Services, and then it eventually got bought by Alorica. I've worked for, what else? Well, those are the two big call center companies that I worked for. And I worked for a lot of small companies. And one of my mistakes is I get attractive into these nice deals. Because when you get to talk to the interviewer, you're not just talking to an HR professional. You're talking usually to the business owner of that small company, and they say things that are really convincing, that are really attractive. So they're gonna say, if you do really well, you can make 50,000 pesos a month, you can make 100,000 a month. If you are really good in sales, we will reward you very well. And we have a culture, we provide training, we have all these nice things. And don't get me wrong, I did get a lot of benefit from these trainings, but long term, I'm not, it gave them an excuse to pay me less. I got the benefit from working for someone else. So in one of the companies, we were selling telephone lines. They were doing the salary or commission scheme. So the highest amount that I made, so they offered maybe 3,000 a month. 3,000 a week. Multiply that by 4 weeks in a month. That's about 12,000 a month. And then on one of the months, I made an extra 4,000. So I made like 17,000 that month. And I guess one time I made the 7,000, and I also made 5,000. So I made like 19,000. The biggest amount that I made working there is 19,000 pesos. So the biggest amount I made in that company is 19,000 pesos. And that's it. The rest of the time, while I was learning how to sell, they were only paying me 12,000 pesos. There were times when, my commission, so I made maybe 4 or 5 sales at the time, that week. And as a result, I only made an extra 500. So good performance, there's like a cutoff that, if you're very positive, if you're very aggressive, you're very good in selling, I guess you could make better money there. But if you're still starting out, if you're still learning, there's a chance that you're not being rewarded very well. So the basic salary is really low, and I don't want you to experience that, because it's a really painful experience. It's a really difficult experience. But if you're working for that kind of company and you are making a lot of money, you are doing well, you can sell well, you can communicate well, then good for you. But if you're not, if you're starting out and you have bills to pay, you have high ambition, but you're not that skillful yet, start with a job that pays you more. start with a job that will train you, and maybe you'll get paid less maximum for a, what do you call that? You get paid a maximum's income, a little less maximum income if you work for a bigger call center or a bigger BPO. But that's okay because you're just learning, and you can learn a lot from these big companies. Okay, so um, so as I was saying, if you manage to get hired in a bigger call center company, the pay will be better. And some of you might be worried. I don't want to apply for a bigger call center company because if I fail, I'm going to miss that opportunity. But that's not really true. Because in a lot of situations, if you fail in applying at a call center job, the only thing you miss is, the opportunity to try again. Because if you fail in a job application, they will allow you, in a lot of situations, they will allow you to apply again in a 3-month period. Some companies, not all of them, but some companies, they will only allow you to reapply after 6 months. And then some companies, they will allow you to reapply after a month. And here's something really exciting. Some companies, if you fail in that company, if you fail your job application, but you're okay, you have a good attitude, you have good communication skills, maybe you made a few mistakes with your English, they're gonna give you another chance. They're gonna make you apply again. They're going to give you another interview, maybe for a different account. Some big companies, they offer free training. Some companies, they offer paid training. Like, they're gonna train you and you're going to get an allowance. And then when you get started, like if you pass the training, they're gonna hire you. So that is one big benefit. And you can try that. Apply in a big company, apply in a reputable call center company. So, next question. What are the reputable call center companies? So, I put together this list from 2013, and some of the companies here have already changed. Some of the companies have been bought by bigger companies. Some companies have already changed their names, and this is a very common thing in the BPO. Companies tend to buy companies once they've made enough money. Like, they can get bigger clients, they can absorb more agents when they do that. So it's perfectly normal. And when you're working for a call center and your company gets bought by another company, there's usually some form of exciting reward, or you get put in a very exciting position there. Like when the company I was working for, West Contact Services, they were bought by Olega. There were some interesting changes, and this provided me with the opportunity to go after my dream job. So it's okay. If something happens to the company, you can use that as long as you're prepared, as long as you take your actions and use your intelligence, you will be able to jump to a bigger opportunity when that happens. And so I'm gonna give you this list. So, oh, by the way, if you want to read this list, you can just go to callcentertrainingtips.com. Callcentertrainingtips.com has over 200 lessons on how to get hired in a call center. We also provide lessons on how to develop your skills so you can earn well and go after your dream job. And when you build enough skills, you will be able to claim all that sweet call center money. So the first company here is Convergys, but you've probably seen Convergys almost anywhere. There's one in Alabang, there's one in Makati, there's one in Quezon City, I think. You've seen that sign everywhere. So back then, when I started Convergys, like if you say call center, first company that came into mind is Convergys. But I just heard a few weeks ago that they were purchased by Concentrix. Concentrix is also another big company. So them purchasing Convergys, I imagine it's a good thing, because back then when I applied for at Concentrix, the pay was really handsome, and I almost stopped. I almost uh, I almost stopped from reaching for my dream job because of the job offer that I got at Concentrix. The pay was really high, and I was willing to, stop. I was almost willing to stop going after my own business. So what I currently do is I service clients from the US, and they pay me directly, so I get paid higher than what a call center agent makes. Um, so yeah, the other one, well, yeah, here's a funny one. When I wrote this lesson, I was talking about I put on the list Aegis. So Aegis is formerly known as People Support, but I recently found out, because I'm not in the market for call center job hopping, and I mean call center application anymore. I'm not applying personally. People Support, or AGs, they're now purchased by Teleperformance. So Teleperformance is one of those companies that I went to way back. I have a lesson on what I learned when I applied in Teleperformance. It's a really funny story. You can go to callcentertrainingtips.com and you can read about it. Um, so yeah, Teleperformance bought AGs, or People Support, and at one point back in 2006, 2007, if I remember correctly, People Support, or AGs, is one of the companies that paid the highest. So yeah, give it a shot, give it a try. Like, I don't care, even if Teleperformance is the new name of the company, give it a shot, give it a try, and see how it works. Um, Other companies, Teletech. The Teletech I know is in MOA. There's also a Teletech in Rizal, Cainta area. I'm not really sure. Google is your friend. Just type in Teletech, and then type in the location that you're looking for. There's also one near SM Fairview. So there might be more. I'm not 100% sure. You can just Google Teletech locations Philippines, and if you're interested in applying for Teletech, uh, a lot of the people that I know personally, they made a lot of, they built their livelihood working for Teletech. The other company is, yeah, Teleperformance, but they already bought the previous company, People Support. Stream, or eTelecare. There's also ICT. I don't know if these companies exist anymore. I don't see their names, but the chances are these companies have been purchased by bigger companies, so they kind of merge the name, and the buying company's name is the one that stays. So Stream, formerly known as eTelecare. West Contact Services, um, you can send me an email and I'll refer you to someone, but West Contact Services has already been purchased by Alorica, and that's around the time that I left the BPO industry. Um, West Contact Services was a very good company to work for. They pay really well. They are good. They're really good to their employees. They pay really well. They're good to their employees. They have solid benefits. They have solid privileges to the people working for the company. They have nice facilities, nice restroom, and all. The only thing about them is they are incredibly strict. And, as someone who's before I worked in a call center, I was more or less like a boss in the previous company. And when I worked for West Contact Services, I started out as an agent, so low level position but high paid, and that's good. So I went there and I collected all that sweet, sweet call center money from West Contact Services, and everything was good. They're very strict, so you have to follow the rules. And 99% of the people who get fired from the company are people who did not follow the rules. Not because people did not meet the metrics, it's because they did not follow the rules. 90% of the time, 99% of the time, the people who quit, the people who lose their jobs there, usually are doing some kind of attendance violation. They're always late, they're always absent, and maybe they're doing some illegal activity. So and that's why they got fired. They're trying to make fake sales or something like that. And obviously, that's a no-no. So West Contact Services, the best benefit I got from there is that it helped me develop my the value of discipline, the value of waking up early, the value of getting enough sleep. Because, the difference between the Kevin that is a top agent and the difference, and the Kevin that's a problem agent or a loser agent, what's the difference? It's getting enough sleep. Because, and one of the stories that I share is that I was experiencing some form of depression where I'm not motivated to go to work. I'm not motivated to do my work well because of something that happened back in 2009, 2010. And I really wasn't motivated to create a better life. I was making this website, but I'm not really motivated to do anything. I'm just experiencing some form of sadness or depression. I'm just really waiting for something to happen and my life will end. But when and then I got transferred to one of the team leaders. His name's TL Edward, and one of the things that he did, uh, because he was concerned with my performance. I used to be a top agent, and then my performance is falling, and I might be recommended for termination again or something. So the only thing that he asked me is that, Kevin, are you getting enough sleep? And I said no. And he said, well, uh, go to Mercury Drug, buy some vitamin B, and do your best to get enough sleep. If you're having trouble getting enough sleep 2 hours before your scheduled sleep time, turn off the Wi-Fi. Make sure you get enough sleep. You sleep. Make sure you get enough exercise. I heard you're going to the gym. Keep at it. Keep going to the gym. And within a week, my performance went up. Within the week, I was the top agent of his team. Within another week, I became top agent for the entire account, for sales. And this happened on the December, and December is the month where the sales are the lowest, and I am the highest performer. So every top sales agent's sale was down and mine was up, simply because I was getting enough sleep and I was paying attention. But there's another story to that. I'll share it with you. You can just go to callcentertrainingtips.com, and yeah, you'll get to hear the lesson. So enough about that. The other company is Sutherland Global Services. I'm not sure if they still exist. You can just Google. Another company is Cytel. I hear really good. I hear really good things about Cytel. I also hear good things about Sykes. The other company's name is Telus. I'm not sure, but I think one of them merged with the other. The other one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure again. So this is a really old list. And if you really want to get hired in a call center, Google is your friend. You can just Google call center companies. You can just walk in. You don't need a recruiter. You don't need a referral. All you have to do is to just use a little initiative and try searching for companies. Alright? So another company name is NCO. Another company name is Genpack. One of my closest friends in the call center, he's working for Genpack now. If you want to apply there, if you want us to refer you, you can just send me an email. Let me know you're interested in Genpack, and I'll refer you to my friend. We'll give you some tips. I'll even give you a free training session if you apply at Genpact. The other one is KGB, formerly known as InfoNXX. IBM, I don't know if they're still there. HSBC, TELUS is formerly known as Ambergris, 24/7, and Accenture. And yeah, that's the thing. If you are a call center recruiter and you're watching this, you're interested in a tie-up, maybe you can send me a message and we'll discuss. We'll do our best to help you out. Because one, the main purpose of this site is to help people coming from low-paying jobs to qualify for call center work. So if you would like to assist these people, you can just message me and we'll sort out some sort of deal. So I've given you at least a dozen call centers in this lesson. So where do you get other call center companies? So this is a thing that I've been doing ever since I started, because back when I started, the only company that I know is Convergys, ICT, and InfoNXX. Those are the only three companies. How did I get to know more call center companies? What did I do? When I went to the call center company, when I'm waiting at the reception area, if I see another job applicant, I pull out my notebook, I sit next to them, and I introduce myself like, "Hi, I'm Kevin, and yeah, this is my first time to apply in a call center. How about you? How many call center companies have you been to?" And then they're gonna say something like, "Oh, I've been to 2 companies." And then my next question is, "Oh, that's interesting. What companies have you been to?" And then they're gonna say the name. When they say the name, I'll write it down. The only thing you need to know is the name and maybe the general location. So where is Teletech? Teletech is in MOA. Okay, I don't need the exact address because Google is my friend. Okay, so that's what I do. So okay, so I found out that he applied in Teletech. I find out that he applied in Teleperformance, and then I say like, well, is it hard? Is it difficult to get hired in a call center? And they're gonna say like, yeah, somehow. And then my next question is, are you going somewhere else after this? Like, just in case, if you don't get hired here, do you have a backup plan? Are you going somewhere else? And then they're gonna say something like, "Oh yeah, I also plan to apply in Concentrix. I also plan to apply in Alorica," something like that. And then they're gonna say like, "Oh, okay, well, if things don't work out for me too, let's go there together." And then you ask for their phone number. But after that conversation, you have 4 more companies to go to. You get the idea? And while you're there, you can ask for some tips. What happened? Why did you fail? When you discover why a person fails in an interview, you can figure out what you can fix with yourself. What you can figure out what you need to know, what you need to do, what you need to fix, and from there you will be able to make smarter decisions, or you can give smarter answers. Because the problem with a lot of you, well, no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this other person who sends me a message. A lot of the people, they have high expectations. They expect that all it takes is one job application, one interview, and you're gonna get a job. But that's not true. That's not true, man. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take a lot of interviews. It's going to take a lot of job applications for you to get hired. You know? 16. Personally, Kevin fucking Olega. It takes me 16 job applications to get hired in a company where they like to hire me and I like the salary, and you know, that's a good job offer. But usually it takes me 16 Usually when I apply, the first five companies are not very good interviews. I'm gonna say something stupid in the interview. All right. Here's a very important lesson, and I want you to remember this. Anything important in life, anything valuable, whether it's make earning a livelihood, getting a job, getting a sale, getting a client for your business, getting a lifetime partner, anything like that has a 99% failure rate. Okay? 99% failure rate. So if you ask your friends, hey, do you want to, like, I'm selling this cute doll over here. Her name is Kanan. She's from an anime called Love Live. And you can buy her for 2,500 pesos. And then you ask, you go to your Facebook, you message people, and hey, I'm selling this cute doll over here. Snap a photo, send them a photo, and she's really, I like looking at her. She makes me feel relaxed. She's huggable, she's cute, and she's very therapeutic for me. Like if you're experiencing some form of depression or deep sadness, having one of these around, it's kind of going to help. You can buy her for 2,500. I'm ordering another one, so you can get the old one. And these dolls cost a lot of money. I'm getting mine for 5,000, but you can have my old one for 2,500. Do you wanna buy it? If you do that and ask all your Facebook friends, maybe you ask 100 people in your Facebook, 99% of those people are going to say no. Alright? If you ask 200 people, maybe 198 people are going to say no. Because everything important has a 99% failure rate. But the thing is, you ask 200 people, 198 people are gonna say no, but maybe 2 people are gonna say yes. That sounds interesting. I wanna take a look. I wanna see. I wanna test if maybe she has what you're saying, the therapeutic effect, and that's the thing, you know. And also, it also happens with jobs. You know, most of the companies that you are going to apply in, you're not gonna pass because you're either wrong for them or they're wrong for you, or maybe you're just saying something wrong in English and that you haven't figured out yet. Maybe you're not confident. Maybe you don't value yourself that much. Maybe you don't see the good in you. You know, when I talk to people, when I look at people, I do my best to see the good in them. I do the best to find out what makes them special. And I try to reveal that in our training sessions. And a lot of you, that's your problem. You don't see the good in you. So when the recruiter asks, so, why should we hire you? What is your advantage over the other applicants? What are your strengths? 99% of the time, you don't know the answer to that. Because you're not used to looking at yourself and seeing your value. And that's what I try to do in my training sessions. I help people see the value in them, so when they go to the interview, they're prepared, they can communicate their value, their worth, and they can get hired and make that sweet, sweet call center money. Okay? So, yeah. When you go to a call center company, go to one of these companies that I mentioned. When you get there, ask a person, where have you been to, and where are you going next? Write down the names of those companies. And if they're nice, you can go with them. If they're not so nice, you don't need to ask them their phone number. You don't need to ask them to go together. You can just wish them luck, hope everything goes well in their job application, and then shut up. and then go back to your notebook, and um, now you have a company to go to. Okay. So if this is your first time to apply, then you're likely going to meet people who are exactly like you in your exact same position. And one of the things that you can do is you can work together. If you work together, you're going to increase your chances. If you found out what a person's mistake is, you can avoid making that mistake yourself. All right? A lot of you, your problem is almost exactly like mine when I started. When I started, I had to stop going to college because of financial reasons. Um, and the interviewer was asking, do you plan to work and study at the same time, or do you want to work, save money, and go back to school in the future? Back then, I insisted I'm gonna work and study at the same time. I didn't get hired. And when I teach these to other people, some people, they tell me they kept making the same mistake, but after I corrected them, all the companies they went to, they got hired, they got a job offer. And that's just one mistake. So figure out as many mistakes as you can so you can avoid them. Okay. And so yeah, this is how I started my job hunt. I hope I was able to share good lessons with you. I hope I'm able to enlighten you, help you get hired better in a call center. And yeah, whatever happens, just feel free to contact me. Send me an email, send me a message on the Facebook page. And again, thank you so much for your support. If you like or share this video, you subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow our Facebook page, thank you so much for your support. If you decide to purchase our online training program, thank you for your confidence. Thank you for supporting our um, online training center or online school. And yeah, I'm really, really happy that I'm able to help you out. And yeah, for the people who sent money so I can buy a cheeseburger or something like that, say thank you so much. Thank you for people who sent some donations on, like, buy a steak. It's on me. I got hired. Thank you. And yeah, if you do get hired, I'd like to know. Send me a message. Let me know that you're hired already. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.